angry guy here, and Just Pearly Things calls out older women for helping to destroy the lives of younger women. We're going to go ahead and just jump right into the video.
If a guy deals drugs when he goes to jail when he's younger, okay, when he talks to the younger men, he'll say, stay away. And you literally can see like interviews in prison of men talking about this. They'll say, hey, young guys, do not go down that path. You don't have to do that. But older women will justify doing it for younger women. Older men will say, hey, that's a bad path. Don't go down. They won't justify and say, no, you have to sell drugs. You have to commit crimes. No, they'll give the men the right information. Now, some men will take that advice and some won't. They can't really help who does, but at least they have the correct information.
You know what's amazing about this is that there are so many videos on YouTube right now where you have older women and they're telling younger women that, you don't have to settle. You should not settle. I live such a wonderful life. Look at my career. You can have this. I teach my daughters that they should never settle because they are the prize. And it's absolutely delusional thinking. And then you end up with a lot of women who are now older. They're alone. They're miserable. And they don't know where they went wrong. They don't know how things went down so far downhill for them. And it started with the older women. It started with their mothers who gassed up their heads, often single mothers telling them that, they deserve the absolute best. They're going to, they're going to go out into the world and they're going to show the world what they're made of. They can be billionaires. They can do anything that the guys can do. They can do anything that men could do. Here's the thing. A lot of men cannot do what other men can do. It's like there's a huge hierarchy. You have high value men, and then under the high value men, you have a bunch of peons. It's the truth. It's the honest to goodness truth. Okay? Most men will never get to that high value man status. And some of these dudes will work hard, they will try, they will never get there. Because you have to be dedicated to be a high value man. Do you understand the concept of failure? Do you understand the concept of homelessness? Do you understand the concept of removing the safety net? Do you know what it's like to be in the military and something happens and you get injured and you have to go through recovery? And then after you go through that recovery phase, you have to put back on your gear and then go right back out there and pick up where you left off. And you cannot allow fear to hold you back. Do you know what it's like to live in your car? You could have chosen the easy way out in life. You could have gotten one of those comfortable 9-to-5 jobs and lived in mediocrity. But you decided that you wanted more. And you have to suffer. And you suffered for like 20 years doing stand-up comedy or trying to make it in Hollywood or trying to build a business and create value. And finally, after 20 years, after working on yourself and developing yourself and being prepared, you finally got the opportunity and you took that opportunity and you pushed hard. And now you finally made it, but it doesn't end there because you have to keep going each and every single day because there's so many dudes that are one-hit wonders. Luck is nothing more than when preparation meets opportunity and then persistence. Those are the people that are lucky. Because if you don't persist, if you don't keep on going, you will lose it all. You become a one-hit wonder. All right? Women don't consider this. They think that everything is going to be handed to them. They think that because they are, by the virtue of being a woman, they have this power. They have this power and they can do anything. And then when reality steps in, because they think they're going to go out there and open this business and their business fails, and you have all these women telling them, no, you're big, you're beautiful, you just keep on going, keep on going. And now they have $1 million in debt. Can't pay it back. All right? We're talking about student loan debt, business debt, personal debt, because I'm a big businesswoman, so I have to leave good. All right. So I have my $300,000 in student loans. I have $500,000 in business debt. And of course, I have $200,000 in personal debt because I have to live good. So mama needed a good place to live. She had, I had rent. I have to buy clothes. I have to buy food. There are trips that I have to go on because, I am Miss Big Boss Babe. So now she has $500,000 in business debt, $200,000 in personal debt, $300,000 in student loan debt. And after all of, and by the way, she was out in the streets this entire time because she was deeply in her masculine energy. So now she has a body count that would make John Wick jealous. And at that point, after all of this has happened, now she wants to live that soft girl life. Covered up in tattoos. Wrinkles everywhere. You can see the streets on her. And now she wants to play Miss Feminine because she can't go back. She can't live that simple life. She needs to eat caviar. She needs to live in a nice house. She needs to be able to go to the spa and live the life she was living but could not afford before, and even better, because women cannot go backwards. They can only go forwards. So she can't go back to the simple life or a normal life, even a good life that would be good for anyone other than someone who is spoiled. She can't go back to that. But now she deserves a millionaire. At 40 years old, she's going to go out there and say that she deserves a millionaire. And any guy who can't give her what she wants is not a real man. Even though she'll acknowledge that only something like 10 to 14% of people in the United States actually make over $100,000 a year, she does not care because she deserves a man from that 10 to 14%. And not only that, she deserves the top 1% of those men. So she deserves the top 1% of the top 10% of men. The top 1% of the top 10, the top 1% of the top 10% of men. That's a handful of dudes. That's a handful of dudes. And she deserves that by the very virtue that she is a woman. What do you bring? I am smart. I am beautiful. I am charismatic. I'm educated. What does that do for me? It will improve your life by my presence, just being there. Your life will get better. How is it? That doesn't make any sense because you say this, but you want a man who already has all of these things. You want a man who's successful, who has his life together, who makes all of this money. And then you're saying that you don't bring anything because you're the table, but you're going to make his life improve just by being there, although he's the one coming into the relationship with all of these things already. He's already fit. He's already worked on his body. He's already built his empire. So what are you adding to it? How are you making that better? Oh, because he might be worth $1 million, but when I'm in his life, that million will go from 1 million to 10 million to 100 million. Girl, by the time 10 years in, that man will be a billionaire. And it will be all because of me. Sergey Brin, one of the founders of Google, married this woman, second wife, Brazilian. This is why they say, don't bring her back to the USA. She demanded $1 billion, and they actually officially divorced. She demanded $1 billion of his net worth. They had a prenup. The prenup was ironclad. She claims that she was in duress at the time of signing the prenup, and all you need to prove that all a woman needs to do to prove that she's in duress is to say that she believed that the wedding would be canceled if she did not sign it. Right? She was pregnant at the time. She simply said, I was pregnant at the time. And if I didn't sign it, he would not marry me, and I would be left on my own with my child, and I'd be out in the cold. I was in duress. That's all she has to do. Throw the prenup out. He's worth almost, at the time of the divorce, he was worth almost $100 billion. He may be worth around that still, or maybe more. And she wanted basically 1% of his net worth, claiming that it wasn't a lot because he was already worth like $100 billion, and a $1 billion to him is a very small amount of money. It's a tiny amount of money to him. $1 billion to him is a tiny amount of money. So she should be awarded $1 billion. This was her actual argument in court. She was in duress. His entire net, she's only asking for literally 1% of his net worth. So there should be no complaints about it. $1 billion. And then you question, and then you wonder why men are walking away. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the content, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, never miss another video again, and like the video because it tells YouTube you're enjoying the content, you want to see more of it, so YouTube will show you more of it. All right? So go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Just Pearly Things calls out older women for helping to destroy the lives of younger women. Do you agree with her? Do you agree with what I've said? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments, so let's talk about them there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.